Hello and welcome back to the Startup Shortlist video series. I've got two brilliant founders with me today, Chloe, Kristen. Short version, what were you doing before Rework and what made you say, all right, we need to build this? Over to you.
I spent the first half of my career in corporate HR and talent acquisition. So I have basically built and led teams and cultures. And then the second half of my career, without giving my age away too much, I have consulted for the last decade to startups. And I've also built a HR recruitment agency recently. Chris has a background in recruitment, tech recruitment. She's scaled agencies, teams. We have very similar experiences. And we both have supported founders. We're also founders ourselves. And I guess looking at these founders who are holding everything together. And we're also talking a lot when we're in our previous roles about solving similar problems. And founders, we find, are just patching problems. And I think that's kind of what led us to build Rework, is that we kind of said, all right, let's stop patching and let's actually build the thing that can help founders have access to all of these things that we have learned. The things that we're kind of focused on at the moment is really helping founders improve team performance. Once you're kind of good at a job, you usually get promoted and you get thrown into a people manager role. And most of us, around our age, probably haven't been given the tools and the frameworks and the proper training that they need. And if they don't really have kind of those frameworks, it does start falling apart.
Perfect. When founders come to you and they usually have a hiring problem, how often is it actually a team performance problem in disguise?
I think most of the time. A lot of the times, it's not that they need to hire, it's that they need more frameworks. They need better ways of working, they need better rhythms. Every so often, it's more about the fact that the business is growing quickly and the knee-jerk reaction is to hire somebody to fix the problems. But if the foundations are not there and set, then unfortunately you're just creating more people problems. So we always say performance before headcount, because if the underlying systems are not working, adding more people just scales the dysfunction.
Yeah, it kind of adds another layer of chaos as well. If before you bring in all of these new hires thinking that they're going to fix that problem, they're not. It's not going to. It's just adding more chaos to the problem.
You've talked a lot about teams feeling fragmented. What does that actually look like inside a business? What are the symptoms founders are experiencing?
I think it's usually the small things at first that turn into big things. That's when communication breaks down, the trust erodes. I think your productivity starts to slow down, and that's when you start having a lot more performance issues. But you're also going to notice that your team members are going to be unhappy. They're going to be burnt out. And if you're going to keep continuously adding things on, it becomes a capacity problem. Then it becomes a system problem. And I think sometimes underperformance can also be masked as personality clashes. But also I think it's a structural and a system process, because nobody knows what the hell they're supposed to be doing. Without a clear understanding of what your role is or what you're trying to chase after, or each team, whatever it is, if you don't know what your kind of direction is, and you don't have that clarity, that's when it starts to get really messy.
What does a founder who genuinely understands their team look like versus one who think they do?
Having a lens of curiosity, being able to take a step back and have that overview, and that's really difficult. That's when you're in the day-to-day, if you're a founder, if you're a manager, it's your life. You don't sometimes see the cracks underneath. And I also think that layers with someone that's honest with themselves. They can go, I need help. And I think the founders that go, okay, something's not right here. Old operation systems aren't working. I'm relying on my own instinct. And I'm seeing that the people around me are not evolving alongside the growth. We shouldn't have to wear every single hat. We do at the start, of course. But then when we get to this stage of growth, there's funding, there's support, there's opportunity to bring external lenses in.
You've written that most performance problems come down to three things: no roadmap, the founder as a bottleneck, or wrong hire in wrong structure. Of those three, which one shows up most and which one causes the most damage?
Founder bottleneck. We know in the startup scale up space, businesses evolve way faster than leadership habits. So founders are carrying things that they probably should have let go of 6 months ago, but they sometimes don't want to let go either. It's a legitimate skill to be able to let go and to delegate. And that's where founder coaching can be amazing, because it's like, we'll help teach you to flex this muscle of delegating, of letting go, so that you can get out of your own way. Because over time, the team sort of starts unconsciously relying on that. And it creates this kind of exhausting cycle where nobody feels empowered, the founder feels completely overloaded, and then we gotten to the chaos point again.
You need to trust them to do that. As long as you're giving them, like what Chris said earlier, having a really clear roadmap, knowing what the goals are, knowing what the success measures are. And if you can set that up and then have the structure that runs underneath that, everyone knows what they're doing, then everyone can row in the same direction. If you are going to be holding this everything together and being relied on as the glue, it will come undone. You will burn out. You will not like what you're doing. You'll start resenting it. And that's not why you started the business in the first place. And they say it takes a village to raise a child or a family. It takes a village to raise a business too. So we're here to help.
If someone's watching this thinking that's us, it probably will be. What's the first step?
I would say, please just pause on hiring. Don't assume that more people will be the immediate fix, or that a chunky title will solve your problems. It looks great in market, it looks great on LinkedIn, but these people are best hired when the operational foundations of the business are set to scale and there's a clear environment for them to step into. There's a place where they can lead and they can succeed. We sit down, we help the founders identify what these patterns are, what the pressure points are, what are the golden threads happening underneath. We can then help you diagnose, and we can stop making reactive decisions. The reactive decisions are the ones that ultimately end up, again, leading back to the chaos. If someone's watching this going, that's us, the first step is absolutely going, do you know what? I'm okay to get some help.
Brilliant. Well, thank you both so much. It was a pleasure talking to you both.